Hello and happy Thursday. It's a little bit warmer today finally here and the sun is shining. I had a busy morning with tax appointments. I had 5 tax appointments this morning and it's just so good to go check and have that done, and then to be able to come home and get some crafting done for you guys so that I have something to show you. And I love that Deb, your name is popping up already here. So Deb's my hostess. She's on, so that means I can start. But we also have Diane and Lisa and Joyce. Hello there, guys. So it's good to see you. My iPad's even here today, and that's a good thing too. So I always try to think, okay, what stamp sets have I used for different hostesses, and what stamp sets and ideas have I used for stamp camps. So sometimes if you go, oh my goodness, she's used that often or that often, I always keep track so that if you've earned cards through different orders that you've placed, maybe through host parties like my virtual parties or stamp camps, I try and have a variety for each so that you're not going to get 5 let's say 5 Haychick cards if you're getting the set of 10 for the stamp camp cards and such. So with that, it might be a hint of what I'm using. Let me put down my iPad so I can show you today's card. Click. Okay, got it on my stand there. So today I'm showing the Darling Donkeys again. Part of it is all of a sudden when the calendar flipped today, I went, February 18th, we only have 10 days left of celebration. I don't want to be done using these donkeys yet. And I know a lot of you feel that same way. I even had one of you reach out and say, so when celebration comes back in July and August, do you think that the donkeys might come back? Maybe they'll have dies for it or something. So no guarantees on that. I kind of doubt it, to be honest, but Stampin' Up! Has surprised us in so many ways that it's hard to know. But I just thought, oh, let's do something with the donkeys again for Deb's group of people that have been ordering. So hey there, Brenda and Pam, and there was a bunch of other names. Good. So let me get my camera turned around here so I can show you how to put together your own card, or how I did mine, because mine has a little bit of a fun twist to it today here. Let me get it going right here. So here is today's card. For those of you that love pink, I don't do a lot with bright pink. It's kind of funny. I have all boys, so I do a lot with, the blues and such, and you'd think I would go crazy over pink because it'd be my signature color in the house, but I don't do tons with pink. But this really made me happy putting this one together. Hey there, Linda and Robin and Julie. Good to see you guys. So with this, I kind of want to show you today's technique, how to get some paper in here, paper saving technique, but how it's going to look that like they are just pieces of paper, but you're not having to use as much from your supply. I know a lot of you are like, well, that's our whole goal, is to use up our supplies so we don't feel guilty buying more. So there we go. Oh, good, Deb. I'm glad that you like the donkey too. So Pam, you're going to be getting this card, and yes, it does look springy, and I'm glad you said springy because I was ready for bright colors and I didn't want this to look Valentine-y. As I was putting it together today, I really wanted to use pink. I was in a pink mood, and I'm like, oh, Valentine's seems so long ago. Actually, I don't know why, but I was hoping that it would look springy and bright and not like Valentine's. So good. All right, so let me set that aside. And show you where these things are coming from. Lots of freebies. So Darling Donkeys, you can earn for free with a $50 order in Celebration. So in the Celebration brochure, that is on page 4 there. So yep, free with a $50 order. And yes, that is the only way to get things from this brochure. And then from the inside of the card that I'll be doing later, into my live here, Heal Your Heart, I thought that donkey, sometimes I think he looks cute, sometimes I think he looks sad, and so we're in this together is what I'm going to stamp for the inside, because I just thought it looked like it fit the donkey today. So that is on page 9. With the Heal Your Heart. That is also free with a $50 order. With that. And then the fun papers. So you can see that there's lots of pink showing on here. So where I am getting today's pinks from, and depending on how many people order from, from Deb's party, I'm thinking ahead already, like how many cards do I need to make already versus how many I might need to make. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm using this, but I might have to go into this stack too. So what I'm using is current product from the annual catalog here, sometimes kind of hidden because we see all the fun, pretty designer series papers, and these are kind of just the colors in a pattern form, and it's just solid colors. And I think these really are great, and I've been using them quite a bit lately too. So that's where you see that. So you'll see that, but where I'm pulling this fun stack of the In Color from, it's not even in a catalog yet, because this is one of the 5 packs you would receive if you join. So I was excited to have a couple people join my team this month because they got 5 packs of not In Color, 1 pack of In Color, and then 4 packs Regals, Brights, Subtles, and neutrals. So that is a lot of paper, $57.50 worth of paper if you join. So you'd get 5 of these packs. It says 6, but it's only 5. So some of you might be receiving your Magenta Madness with this pattern instead of the current 2. So okay, enough about that, but I always feel bad if I don't tell people about joining too, because if your wish list is $125, you can get it for $99. You don't get celebration choices, but you do get this extra paper. There's no shipping, there is tax, but it's a great thing, a great time to sign up. So kind of like to talk about it a few times just because of that, but I know a lot of you are like, yep, I am just happy where I am, and that is good too. So, okay, let me get my workstation ready, and I need to bring over my big shot, but I think I'm going to trim first. Usually I have everything pre-cut for you, but today I just kind of wanted to show you that I'm starting out with that paper that's 6x6. And Carol, you're watching, and I know you're a big fan of Melon Mambo. This is Magenta Madness, so hopefully you like it just as well because they're very similar colors. So my card base is also Magenta Madness, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, folded that way. And so this is 6x6, that whole stack of paper is. Usually I'll do a 4-inch trim. I'm going to do like a 4 1/8, which is right in between the 4 that I normally do and then the 4 1/4 that this is. So it's going to be a little bit of a bigger front covering, like so, and then the same thing across the rest of the card. Usually I would do 5 1/4 because the card front is 5 1/2, but I'm going to do that next notch up, so it'd probably be 3/8, 5 3/8. And I like that it covers more of the card this way. It's a tighter fit. Normally I don't do a tight fit for Stamp Camp like that because you're seeing there's not a lot of edge space around there, and I always feel like for those that come to my in-person events, I don't want to get things too tight where it's hard for you guys to line up, but since I'm making these cards, I can do that for you. And then look at the nice strips that you still have left over. Pam and I were talking yesterday about how these strips can be used up, and there's great ways to do that, and just have such a nice big strip, almost a 2-inch strip would be an easy thing to incorporate like on a card front like so, like that. And sometimes I even use these little strips in multiples to go across the card, or even like a strip in the inside of the card with the sentiment. Hi there, Connie. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside and start creating. So now is where I'm going to get out my big shot, or excuse me, my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. My goodness, can't believe I said that. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down here. And then the die that I'm using here is from the Rectangle Stitch Framelits, and it is this one. And usually I try and tell you like, okay, what number it is maybe, but when you see my mess of rectangles, there's a lot of rectangle dies in your set. So it's in here. There's some that are narrower, taller, but it's in the other stack. So I'll just say that kind of. And if you get my card, or if you want an exact measurement to copy my card, please don't feel bad about just asking too. So I am going to intentionally take this stitched rectangle and kind of place it at an angle on my pretty paper there. So hopefully you can see that. Hey there, Barb. Hi, Lindsay. So I'm just going to run that through. And this is going to be our card front here. And as I remove this, you'll see we get a fun little stitching for our card front there. And then this is going to be one of the front layers. And that is stitched as well, but we're going to use this back side, which is really fun. So most of this will be showing here, but when you see the back side, that makes for a fun alternate layer, because if you kind of had a lot of this, and if I remember to show you, you'll see it's going to be like too busy, too much, I think, to have this at an angle, but the same busy pattern. So that I'm going to set aside. And then I have just with the same rectangle, exact same rectangle die, I just have a plain piece of Magenta Madness, and I'm going to lay that on here, and that just gets cut out the regular way as well. Whoops. So it's important that you know that it is the same size. Kind of makes taking the guesswork out when it is the same. So okay, Pam said, and I'm going to keep going and hope that it's still going, or if any of you guys have any words of wisdom to chime in. I see that my replay is still going, but if you want to let me know or just say, hey, you're still on, that would make me feel better too, because I feel like it's still going. So we'll see here. You never know with technology. And then the one more die that I'm going to use here is just with some Whisper White. And that I'm going to cut out a circle. Hi there, Peggy O'Neill Fisher. Stitch Shapes Framelits. And in my Stitch Shapes Framelits, that's the die set that has 4 squares, 4 ovals, 4 circles. And I'm using the largest of the circles. And that's going to be that stitched look too. So I just want to run that through, and then we'll have all of the dies cut and ready. So I'm using 2 different sets of dies. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Deb. I have seen that my playback on my iPad, I'm watching for comments, and that sometimes just looks like it's going underwater every once in a while, just kind of fades in and out. So I'll keep stamping away here, and hopefully I stay with you guys. Okay, so let me do some stamping here first. Thanks, Diane. I'm really glad that you guys are able to help me out with that. Okay, so here's a cute donkey that can either look cute or sad. Hi there, Renee. I'm going to ink that donkey up in my Memento black ink, and I'm going to scoot that donkey off to the side, kind of, so that there's room for a sentiment here. And let me scoot on my glasses quick and do some quick coloring. So I've done my donkeys, I feel like in all sorts of different colors and such. And so usually I'll go smoky slate or crumb cake. I even thought about cinnamon cider today, because I saw a donkey colored in with cinnamon cider Stampin' Blends. That looked really cute too for a donkey. Hi there, Marcia. But I'm going to start with the dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of color in that around his face, kind of in the center, and outline that, and kind of just go around one eye but not the other. So usually I'll kind of follow all the way around the ear, but that's all I'm doing for the face there. And then I'm just going to kind of come down and fill in around here in his tail quick, and just kind of do that with the darker, not all of the leg, but definitely the hooves, and kind of just go up so that I'm not filling in all of it with the darker of the smoky slate blends. So literally that is all I'm doing with the darker of the smoky slate. Hi there, Donna. And then I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the body with the light smoky slate here. So I'm just gonna kind of go tip of the ear towards, and then these little tips of the little fur tufts there and back down the ear, and then fill in the rest of the donkey face like so, and then the rest of the body like so, and a little bit of the legs, and that'll give it some dimension too, to have the legs darker and lighter. It'll kind of give it a layered look like so. And then I'm going to flip over to the brush tip of my smoky slate, and this is the part that I always think adds so much to the card, and that's just adding, literally just scribbling, scribble, and now it looks like the donkey is sitting down just with my smoky slate. And obviously my donkey is smoky slate, but I often use smoky slate or crumb cake when I am doing that little bit of shading on the bottom to kind of ground him. So and then for the ears, I'm just using the lightest marker, not the dark, but the lighter blend for Flirty Flamingo, and just filling that in. I have the Magenta Madness, but I thought that would just be too bright of a pink color, so wanted to go Flirty Flamingo with that. And then I'm going to follow up with Crumb Cake for his nose here. So I'm just going to kind of circle around, do the mouth and the nose a little bit, and then just a quick fill in with the light crumb cake, and then he's done. So for those of you that don't like to color, hopefully I did that really quick for you guys. Okay, and now you can see this area looks pretty blank and such, so let's get a sentiment on there. So I'm going to pull in that Magenta Madness, because that's where the brightness is coming from our card today. And the Hey There Friend comes from that Darling Donkey set, and I just love how that goes so well with the donkey today. So now I think it's time to assemble. So let's get all these pieces. I'm gonna get my die out of the way. So what we had here was this piece, if you remember, that I ran through. So this we're gonna set aside. I'm gonna tape down this first. Oops, get my cover off. There we go. So let me get some seal tape on here like so, and then this is going to fit right on here. Like I said, it's cut so that it fits a little bit tighter on the card front, but I like that. I just love how that pops like that. And then we have this piece that I cut, that extra piece, and I'm just going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm gonna actually end up using quite a few dimensionals on here. I'm gonna put one in each corner. I'm not gonna do any dimensionals in the middle of this one because I'm using so many dimensionals. I don't want it to get stacked up and too bulky for the mail. And all I'm doing with this one is just repeating where I've cut out the square. So I'm going to lay this right in there, but this way it's popped up, and when it fits in there, you still, in a fun way, see all that stitching around that. So that still stays true to that, but this is then popped up a little bit from that. And then that piece that I did cut out from there, that's going to be an accent piece this way using this side. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on this one too. And these are going to go way in the corner so that I can catch areas that I didn't catch on the first little rectangle. And then when I put that at an angle like So we have that. So it's from that same piece of paper. So they're both Marvelous, excuse me, Magenta Madness. They used to have a Marvelous Magenta, so I think that throws me off every time. And then to tie in a little bit of the gray with my Darling Donkey here, I'm using just a 1-inch strip of smoky slate. So I've cut that 1 inch by 4 1/4, so it goes across the whole card front. And because I have now a couple layers of dimensionals, I don't want to add any more to the center, but I will put dimensionals on each side. So it kind of just fits almost now like a teeter-totter, because it's going to go up and over those dimensional centerpieces here, but that's part of why I don't want to get too many dimensionals in the center. And I want to make sure that I'm getting this lined up straight. And then this guy is going to sit here, and I kind of wanted a little bit of a boost there. And because most of my dimensionals are around the outside edges here, it's fine to put some dimensionals, not quite to the edge, but kind of center edge here. I'm just going to put about 3 and maybe even 1 in the middle, just because that'll give it a little bit of an oomph there too. So 3 in a circle and then 1 in the middle, and then that's going to go in the center like that. Isn't it coming together really fun now? Yes, thanks, Deb. Yes, this would be a great and fun stamp camp project for sure. So now I want to show you guys, like this could be your card, and now is the part where I want to accent the front, and then also show you how I would finish the inside too. So let me grab my piece of 4 1/4 by, or excuse me, 4 by 5 1/4 white piece of paper here, and then from that free stamp set, Heal Your Heart, we're in this together. I'm going to stamp that out in Magenta Madness here and get that going across the top like so. And that's what we have here. And doesn't that look like it just goes together? Like the donkey kind of looks like it needs that kind of sentiment. And since we're still in COVID, and not seeing people like this, I thought this could be a good card. But yet, if you just want to send somebody a card, what I'm going to do, like a card using this Hey There Friend, but not we're in this together, I'm just going to leave this loose. I'm not going to tape that in the inside of the card for those that will be receiving this card. So that way, if you want to just flip that over and then tape it in, you'll have your own white inside piece for that. But I do love how this goes with that. Thanks so much, Ruth. And then for the accents, I want to use these 2020-2022 In Color Enamel Dots. So they have all of the 5 in colors. And so I keep using like a little bit of this color, a little bit of that color. And it's like, oh, I haven't used Marvelous Magenta for a while. So I'm going to get out my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put on 3 of these because I always think the odd number looks best when done that way. And it kind of just helps to reinforce like the little circles here and the fun little circles there. So it really just makes the card look really complete that way too. So there is Deb's card number 3. So today is Deb's last day of my virtual crafting for her, but her party's still going to be open until the 28th of this month, or she'll need to close for sure by the 28th because that's the last day of celebration. And so that's the last day that you guys can get freebies for $50 orders or more, and she gets an extra stamp set for being a hostess too. So thanks so much for joining in. So like I said, card number 3, if you want me to place an order for you to help with Deb's party, just let me know what you want and that you want it to go to Deb's party, and I can help you get that sorted out and get it ordered for you. I do that all the time, so never feel like you're pestering because I do it. That's my job, and I love my job. So tomorrow I'll be back, and I think we're going to be on card number 7 for February stamp camp. So I still have 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 more cards to finish this month for those 10 creations too, and I'm excited about doing more crafting about with that too. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back tomorrow afternoon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.